everyone, I'm here to do my wrap-up video for the month of December. It's already the end of 2011 and this is the last wrap-up of the year. I can't believe how fast time flew by. Anyway, I had a decent reading month in December. I read, I think, 10 or 12 books or something. But most of those were review books because I did get ready for 2012 in December, which meant that I tried to lower my to-be-read pile in terms of review copies and galleys that I got off NetGalley, because I'm always behind on those. So I read a lot of books on my Kindle, but first up, here are the books that I'm currently reading. I am reading on my Kindle my Scorching Summer Diary by Rettig. Doesn't have a cover, so I can't show you, but she knows. It's about a girl who lives in a small town or a village in somewhere in the UK, and she decides to spend her summer working in a hotel in London. And so far, it's I quite like it. The writing style is quite quirky, and I like following her around, the main character, even though she's a bit stupid because she makes weird decisions, but it makes for a very, very funny read. Hopefully I'll be able to finish that one before the new year, because when I'm recording this, it's the 30th of December, because I don't have time on the 31st or the 1st of January to record it, so I'm doing this early. Anyway, then I'm reading one of my own books. I'm reading Shatter Me by Tahereh Mafi, and I really hope that I pronounce her name right, because I listened to that little audio sample thingy she put on Tumblr for like 10 times. This one is one of the most hyped up books of 2011, and I really wanted to read it, and my expectations were sky high, and I'm about halfway in, and I really like it. But I don't think it's as good as the hype makes me believe it is. And I'm starting to think that maybe I could have waited to start reading this one, because maybe then I would like it more. Don't get me wrong, I really like it. It's a really good book. But the hype makes it this amazing book, and I'm not blown away yet. So yeah, but hopefully I'll be able to read this one before 2012 as well. Then I'm going to tell you the books that I read on my Kindle. First up, I read Partials, and this one doesn't have a cover, by Dan Wells, and I think I gave it 4 to 5. It's a dystopian, and it's about a girl named Kira, and she works in a maternity ward of her hospital. And basically the situation is that there's this virus called RIM, and it makes it impossible for people to have children, because every baby that gets born dies within 3 or 4 days. And the people in her society believe that partials are responsible for the virus, and they set it up on humans. Partials are part humans, part, I think, as robots, or they are not real people. Artificial people, I guess, and they were made to fight a war, and they won that, and then they turned on the humans, and the humans think that the partials are responsible for putting RIM into the world and causing people to don't have babies anymore. I liked it, but I wasn't blown away. It wasn't amazing. I felt things came too easy for Kira, I'm not entirely sure, and I hated her boyfriend. He was really annoying. But yeah, I quite liked it, but it wasn't amazing. If you hear any explosions, they are going insane with fireworks here. They started selling it on the 29th, and it's now the 30th, and they are blowing things up like crazy, so I'm sorry if you hear any explosions or booms or any other things that you can't explain. Next up, I read Adorkable by Sarra, and this one doesn't have a cover either. It's about a girl who is like a super dork, or that's what she proclaims to be, and she's this weird girl with the weird clothes, and she has this. She's a bit of a loner because everyone thinks she's weird. But then the most popular kid in school, Michael, comes to her and says that her boyfriend Barney is trying to get together with his girlfriend. And that's quite funny, and they come together to try and it's not really get over it, but they are drawn to each other because of their exes, and is really, really, really funny, and it's alternating point of views, and I loved Michael. Michael is an amazing character, and I loved him, and it comes out in 2012, so I didn't include it in my 2011 favorites, but it's definitely one of my favorite books that I've read this year. It comes out, I think it comes out in May, I'm not entirely sure, but it's really, 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 really good. So I would definitely recommend that one. And then I read Slated, if you can see, by Teri, and this is a dystopian. And it's about a girl who was slated, which basically means that they erased her memories and gave her a second chance by doing that. So she gets a new family, new school, new life, basically everything new. And they are not supposed to know why they were slated, but this girl remembers stuff that didn't happen in this new life that she has, and she's trying to figure out what happened. And I liked this one, but there were so many subplots going on with the hospital, slating, with the society, with her, what should I call him, love interest. It was good, but it didn't blow me away. But I really, really want to read the second book in the series, even though that won't come out until like 2013 or something. Then I read, come on, load, Hallowed by Cynthia, which is the second book in the Unearthly series, and it's really, really, really good. I'm not sure if it's better than Unearthly, but because it's so different, but it's a really, really good book. It's really well written, and it's so, so sad. It made me cry. I want to tell you what happens, but I can't. Unearthly is about this girl, and she's part angel, and she has this purpose, which means that she's on the planet for doing that. And she saw this guy standing in a forest that was on fire, and she thought she was trying to save him, and that's basically where this one continues. And I loved Hallowed. It was amazing, made me cry, so well written, and was just so, so good. And then last on my Kindle I read Fated by Sarra Alderson. Doesn't really have a cover, at least not on my Kindle, and it's about a girl who is the last in a long line of hunters, and those people hunt demons, or what they call unhumans, and she discovers this when she gets attacked by like 5 or 6 unhumans when she tries to take out the trash on her job. And then the unhumans, they send Lucas, and Lucas is half human, half shadow warrior, and he's sent there to spy on the hunters, and eventually he has to kill her. But they have this sort of connection that brings them together, and it's such a good book. I really, really, really liked it. It comes out the 5th of January. I would really, really recommend picking up a copy because it's so, so good. I loved seeing their relationship develop, and it was such a good book. I couldn't flip the pages quick enough, and I don't really have that many books that I have to rush through just to see what's going to happen, but this was definitely one of them, as was Adorkable, by the way. So those were all the books that I read on my Kindle. And then I have a little pile of books of physical copies that I read in December. First up, I was reading this one while I did my November wrap-up, and it's Gregor the Overlander by Suzanne Collins, which is the first book in the Underland Chronicles, and this is a middle grade series, and it's really, really good. And because I cheated, I picked up the second book in this series, which is Gregor and the Prophecy of Bane, and it was just as good, and I really, really liked the series. So I'll be reading the other 3 books in 2012. I would definitely recommend picking up a copy of these. They are not, you can't compare them to the Hunger Games, because it's for a much younger, audience. But it has the same addicting qualities, and I went through this one, I think, in a day or something, when I was already reading something else or something. Anyway, I read these really, really quickly, and they are really, really good. Then next up, I read Carrier of the Mark by Leigh Fallon, and I wish I could say I love this one, because the idea of this one was really, really good. But there were some things in this book that bothered me, and I won't say it's a bad book, because I think there are a lot of people who will love this one. But there were certain elements that just weren't for me, and even though I liked reading it, I didn't find myself really that involved in the story, if you know what I mean. So I finished it, and I liked it, but I gave it 3 out of 5, I think. Review has to go up somewhere in January. I'm not sure if I will do a video review on this one. But it reminded me of Twilight in some points, and I don't mean in the way that I read Twilight. I read Twilight really, really fast, because I really, really wanted to know what was going to happen. That was not what I had with this one. But the whole Guardian, I'm not sure if that's the correct word to use for it, but that whole thing of the Guardian guarding those people, so to say, without spoilers, that was something that didn't really work with me. Even though I really, really like the idea of the series, of the book. It's the first in, I think it's a trilogy. I think I will pick up the second one, but I won't be really that excited for it, I guess. I really want to read it, but it's not that I want to pre-order it and read it as fast as I can. Then I read The Poison Diaries by Maryrose, and this one surprised me because it was quite dark, and I didn't expect it to be. It was quite a good read. I gave it 4 out of 5. It's on the dark side of YA, and I really, really like that, because I haven't really read that many dark YA books, except maybe A Touch Mortal was one of them, by Leah Clifford. But this was a really, really good one, and it's a short one as well, so if you're looking for dark YA in a short book, I won't say it's a light read, because it's not, but it's a good book. So I would recommend picking up a copy if you like dark YA. It's, I'm not sure if I would call it paranormal, but I think that's what best covers the subject in this one. Yeah, I know I'm a bit weird with that, but oh well. And then last but not least, I read If I Tell by Janet Gurtler, and it was so, so, so good. Her first book was I'm Not Her, which made it to my 2011 favorites. This one was really, really good as well. She had me on the verge of tears almost the entire book, and it was just so, so good. It's about a girl who discovers that her mom's boyfriend has cheated on her mom with her best friend, with the main character's best friend, and she wants to tell her mom until she discovers that she's pregnant. And it all takes from there, and I really, really like this book. I like Jackson. I love the main character, and I really like the story, and Janet Gurtler has an amazing writing style. So I'm really, really looking forward to reading her next book, which comes out in 2012 somewhere. And it's about a girl who accidentally kills someone because he has an allergic reaction, I cannot talk, I'm so sorry, to peanuts, and she has just eaten a peanut butter sandwich. But yeah, this one is really, really good. Would recommend picking up a copy. I don't see too much love for Janet Gurtler, but she's such an amazing author. And that's everything that I read in December, and I know it's quite a lot. I've been talking for almost 15 minutes, so I'm going to end this video. If you see this before the new year, I want to wish you a happy, happy new year. and a safe New Year's Eve. Don't come too close to the fireworks because I want to see you all in 2012. And yeah, that's it for now, and I'll see you in the new year. Bye bye.